There are two methods to add or subtract the integers. So first method is use a number line. First of all, let us draw a number line. So here I have a number line which ranges from -10 to 10. As we already know that 0 is the middle point. On the left hand side of 0 we have the negative numbers, that is -1, -2, -3 and so on. On the right side of 0 we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Now to add or subtract the integers, the first rule is that if we have to add a negative number, then we move to the left of the number line. So let me just write it down. To a negative number or the integer, move to the left. Now second, if I have to add a positive integer, then I need to move towards the right. So I'll write it down. To add a positive integer, move to the right. I hope this part is clear to you. Now keeping that formula in mind, let's solve a question. So we have the formula ready. There's a number line. On left it says to add a negative number, move to left, and on right it says to add a positive number, move to right. So the question is -6 plus 9. -6 is a negative number and 9 is a positive number. So where does -6 exist on our number line? Since -6 is a negative number, so it lies on the left of the 0. So here is our -6. 9, it is a positive number. So it says to add a positive number, you have to move to the right. So counting 9 places from -6 towards right, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So I reach the point 3. So this equals to 3. 3 is my answer. Let me reapply this formula to another question. So it says -1 plus -4. So now -1 is a negative number and -4 is also a negative number. So first of all, let me place -1 on my number line. -1 lies on the left hand side of the 0. So it's here. Now -4. The formula says to add a negative number, move to left. So I have to move 4 places towards left from -1. So there it goes. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So my answer is -5. Now method 2 says absolute value. Absolute means that the value that comes out of the mod is always positive. So let me see, the absolute value of -3 would be 3. You just have to change the sign. The sign that is inside, we don't have to care about that. Just we have to see that the answer that we get after putting the absolute value, after finding out the absolute value, is positive. So the absolute value of -3 is 3 and the absolute value of 4 is 4. The first part of my second method says that if we have the same sign, then add the absolute value and use the common sign. So first of all, the point is that the signs should be same of the two numbers and we have to add the absolute value. So the absolute value says that after finding the absolute value, the answer always have the positive sign and then you have to use a common sign. So let's solve the first question. It says -3 plus -4. What is the same sign? The same sign here is of negative. Okay, so you have to add the absolute value. What is the absolute value of -3? It is 3. And what is the absolute value of -4? It's 4. So it says add the absolute value. So 3 plus 4, it will give me 7. Use the common sign. What is the common sign? The common sign is -4 -3 and -4 -4. That means that the same sign, the common sign, is minus. Thus my answer is -7. I hope this is clear. Let's apply this to another one. So it says 7 plus 12. Do they have the same sign? 7 has positive sign and 12 has a positive sign. So yes, the sign is same. Now let's find the absolute value. The absolute value of 7 is 7 and of 12 is 12. So now you have to add them. What is 7 plus 12? It is 19. Now it says use a common sign. The common sign was plus. So the answer is plus 19. Now we come to the second part of our second method. So it says different signs. Now if the values that you're supposed to add or subtract, they have like different signs, what do? What you do is that you apply this formula. So what you have to do is you subtract the smaller absolute value from the larger absolute value. So that means first you have to find the absolute values of the values that you have, and then you have to find the smaller value, and you have to subtract that from the larger value. After doing that, you put the sign that is in front of the larger absolute value. So let's apply to this to a question, this formula. So it says minus 3 plus 4. Now minus 3, the absolute value is 3, and for 4, the absolute value is 4. Now you have to subtract the smaller value from the larger value. So 4 is the larger value here and 3 is the smaller absolute value. So 4 minus 3 will give me 1. So the answer is 1, and then I have to put the sign in front of the larger absolute value. So my larger absolute value was 4. I'll check the sign in front of that in my question. So it's positive here. So my answer would be plus 1. Now let's apply it again to another question. It says minus 17 plus 4. So minus 17 plus 4, the signs are different. Minus in front of 17 and plus in front of 4. So now I have to find the absolute value first. So minus 17, the absolute value is 17, and for 4 it's 4. Now the larger absolute value is 17. So 17 minus 4 will give me 13. After that, I have to put the sign that is in front of the larger absolute value. So my larger absolute value was 17. The sign in front of that is minus. So my answer would be minus 13. Let us now apply all we have learned in this question. So in exams, you must have seen these kind of questions in which it says you have to evaluate the expression when a is minus 2. So you don't have to worry because, here you just have to substitute the value of a in place of the expression given in the question. So it says, first part says 7 minus a. So what you need to do here is first 7 minus bracket minus 2. So open the brackets because we have learned to solve the question using the positive signs. So it becomes the negative and the negative values when joined, it becomes positive. So it's 7 plus 2, and since there is no negative thing we have to do, so simple, 7 plus 2 is 9. Yes. Now the second part seems a little tricky, and we have like 3 values here. So what you need to do is first put the value of a, that is minus 2. So we get minus 2 plus 12 minus 3. So now minus 2 plus 12, you can use any of the methods that you want to use. So if I use a number line, so it becomes minus 2 plus 12. Now if I take minus 2, it's on the left hand side of the number line, that's on the left hand side of 0. And if I have to add a positive number, I have to move towards the right. So minus 2 on left, I move 12 steps on right. If you check your number line, you'll get it as 10. Now I have 10 minus 3. If I again use my number line, I have 10 on the right side of 0 on the number line, and on negative 3 means that to add a negative integer, I have to move to the left. So 10, and if I move 3 steps back, I'll get 7. So my answer for the question is 7. You can also use a second method which we have learned, and I think it would be quite much easier than this one because for bigger values you don't have to draw a number line each time. You can just use the absolute value and solve it. So good luck. Thank you so much for listening, guys, and if you want to learn more, stay connected, stay tuned. Just click on the bell below or subscribe. You can even comment and come up with your questions or with your queries. Stay connected, stay tuned, and have a good day.